Busted.
The reviews are in.
Awesome.
You wanted more Joe Concha. And we heard you. More Joe. More show.
We're talking to you. Under promise and over deliver.
Joe Concha. Weeknights at 9. Plus Sunday mornings at 11 on 77 WABC.
Jimmy Kimmel no longer tries to be funny. Not that he ever really was.
Joe Concha. Weeknights at 9. Plus Sunday mornings at 11.
Democrats defending cocaine coming into the country.
Listen, all you New Yorkers.
Taxi.
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Anyway, before the break, we started playing Peter Schweizer. We want to play it again because we didn't get to the money part of it. So, folks, this is Peter Schweizer. Oh, my goodness. I'm hearing reports now from people around the country. And if you're around the country, you can give us a call, no matter where you are in these United States of America. I'm hearing from people that are in various parts of the states. Good morning. We'll be in the thick of it. Pray for us. We are praying for you. People that live in the Carolinas are going to get people all over. This thing is affecting over half the country is going to be in this storm in one way or another today. So, yes, let's keep those prayers up and let's pray that people get through this safely and that it is not the horrific event for many people that is being forecast. But we started with the Peter Schweizer. We didn't get to the money quote. And so we want to play it again. This is important, people. You want to know how these protests that are happening, like are happening in Minnesota, are happening? Listen to the whole thing and also listen to the rationale that is being offered in Mexico by senior politicians as to what's happening with their illegal immigration, which the Mexican government is complicit with, by the way, and so is the United Nations, into the United States. I've been using the number, there are almost 40 million illegal immigrants in the United States. It seems to be confirmed by some of the thinking that's going on in Mexico as well. So let's listen to Peter Schweizer again, and hopefully we're going to have Peter on the show real soon.
I started running across these quotes by senior Mexican officials, and I thought, this is just crazy. I mean, do they really mean this? And I kept finding them. I'll give you an example of one that I found very early on. This is from one of the most powerful senators in Mexico. He's a member of the Morena party, the ruling party. He sits on the National Defense Committee, which is the most powerful committee in the Mexican Senate. And he said just a couple of years ago, quote, Mexicans are in our territories. California, Nevada, Texas, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, Kansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, and Wyoming. We're going to take back the territory that was stolen from us. And another one, this is from a government report in December of 2024 by one of Sheinbaum's top aides. Writes in this government report, quote, we already know that the Mexican population in the United States reaches 39.9 million. We Mexicans are reclaiming our territory. So I looked at this and I thought, okay, well, this is just a bunch of bravado from, blowhard Mexican politicians. And then I started looking at what is the apparatus that Mexico has in the United States. And I found that, the United Kingdom and China have 6 and 7 consulates respectively. Mexico has 53. And I started looking at what Mexico is doing with those consulates, and I found out that they're organizing protests. They're still organizing some of these anti-ICE protests. They've got a consulate up in the Twin Cities right now that's neck deep in what's going on in Minneapolis. But I also found that they were meddling in our politics. They were literally meeting with Democratic Party activists in 2024 saying, how are we going to stop Trump? We got to stop Trump. We turned California from red to blue. We turned Arizona from red to blue. We've got to stop Trump.
Folks, this is astounding. Now, just so you know, if you are an American and you go to Mexico and you are caught meddling or interfering, even protesting the Mexican government, you can be expelled from the country. You can be thrown in jail. You are not allowed. You're not allowed to buy property in certain places in Mexico because you're a non-citizen. They do not allow your child to go to school. You don't get government health care in Mexico if you're there illegally. All of these things that happen here that Mexico is supporting. And now we learn 53 consulates, and they are actively meeting with Democrats, helping to organize these massive anti-ICE protests. We haven't heard a word of any of that in the mainstream media, and why not? Leave it to Peter Schweizer to start digging and finding this stuff out. You've never seen this in the mainstream media, the people that are supposed to be telling you or informing you of the news and all aspects of the news. No, you get sob stories that actually are designed to make people hate ICE and to hate the idea that we're enforcing our own laws in this country. This is huge, and if the Mexican government is interfering with our politics, and the Mexican government is actually helping to foment dissent in this country, there needs to be a very strong response. Very strong. Directed at the corrupt Mexican government, and they've been a corrupt government for decades, as long as I've been alive. The problems that have gone with the Mexican government have gone on unaddressed on the world stage. We are talking about a country riddled with corruption from top to bottom, no matter who's in power. It's time to get serious with this stuff, folks. Alex in New York is on the telephone, has been waiting. Good morning, Alex. Welcome to the Saturday Morning Extravaganza. How are you?
Good morning. Listen, I think what Donald Trump needs to do at the State of the Union speech, these Democrat elected officials that are complaining about ICE and they want to unmask ICE and they want to take away their drivers and not have them work in their states because they're enforcing the 1996 immigration laws that Democrats and Republicans and Bill Clinton signed into law. Donald Trump should say, hey, Democrats, if you don't like the law, stop attacking ICE. Put a new bill forward. What do you want to do with the 20 million, 30 million people that are here? What do you want to do with them? You have the power. Change the law that I'm enforcing, which was passed in 1996. Tim Walz was in Congress when Barack Obama was deporting people. Hey, Tim, if you didn't like the immigration law, why don't you put a bill forward when you were a congressman to change the law? These Democratic elected officials, these congressmen and senators, need to be held accountable. Instead of attacking ICE, said, hey, you have the power, put a bill forward and change the immigration laws. I ran on this, and I'm enforcing the immigration laws that was passed in 96.
Well, that sounds reasonable, which is why it won't happen, because what you're asking for is for Democrats to work within the system. Look, Alex, what is underneath all of this is they don't want this changed. Democrats realize if we actually changed the laws, well, I mean, we could change the laws and just give everybody a pass, but that's not going to happen, and they know that. There's not going to be a pathway to citizenship that allows 40 million people to stay with no Republicans. If they ever signed on to it, number one is political suicide. They'd be thrown out of office. It's not going to happen. So Democrats understand something. Illegal immigration helps their party. It's that simple. Why do you think they have sanctuary cities? Because they derive power from it. They derive power from it because the more people in these sanctuary cities, the more congressional seats they have. It's that simple. The more money they have, the more cheap labor they have. This doesn't benefit America. It benefits Democrats to keep the illegal. Why would any party not be happy at the lowering of crime rates in America? Democrats are not happy about it. America is being made safer day by day, and these people are complaining every inch of the way. Why? Because they derive political power from what hurts America and what hurts average citizens in America. Their own power is at stake. And at power, when their power is at stake, there's also money at stake. Ask yourself, how can a woman with 24 or 240 or $24 or something in a bank account end up with 30 million in just a few years of being in Congress? Ask yourself that question, and don't ask it just on one side of the aisle, by the way. Before MTG left Congress, there were reports that she came out of Congress with over $25 million. Now, some of it fundraising, and she was a very aggressive fundraiser. Very aggressive. So her money may not be illegit. Maybe Omar's money is not illegit, but we need to find out, how are these Congress people going into Congress 2-3 years later, they're coming out multimillionaires? And this has been happening for decades, and it's been happening with both parties. Harry Reid, I remember him. He always claimed poor. This guy ended up coming out multi-millionaire. Another one. Huge land deals that were never really looked into. That he was there was so much conflict of interest. Look at all that happens when you start saying, hey, maybe Congress people shouldn't trade in stocks. Nancy Pelosi, prime example. Nancy Pelosi is a better stock trader than Warren Buffett, than almost any other stock trader alive, if you look at the success that the Pelosi family has had with stocks since she's been in power. And you wonder why they can't pass a bill saying, hey, you're in Congress, you're making the laws that affect these businesses. No, you don't get to trade stocks. Nope, they won't do it. This is not just a one-party thing, but the power that is derived from illegal immigration benefits the Democrats, and that's why they don't want to stop no matter how many Americans are hurt by it.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Listen to this podcast now
On the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Idea Gen Global Podcast with George Sifakis.
I'm George Sifakis. In a world overflowing with noise, there is one forum where the world's smartest voices connect, where visionaries sit at the same table as innovators, and great minds don't just talk, they act.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.